Hi guys, welcome back, magical people. It's around 2:30 here, but today I really was feeling called to talk about money jar spells. And again, kind of just like an introduction into doing spell work, what spell work is, what represents the certain spells that you may be trying to create, and my personal practice on me refreshing my money jar. So the first thing I really want, okay, first of all, I have to say, Miss Elena, I love you. Thank you so much for that reading today. I did a lot of journaling, a lot of reflecting, a lot of meditating. I loved it. Thank you so much for that. But when it comes to money jars, first thing I want to talk about is like, what is spell work? Spell work is just energy manipulating. And when you think about it in the most, I've said this in a video before, in the most non-magical way, we all have energy, our brains create energy, and it is just manipulating that. Oh, I loved Elena, like for real, when my hubby came home, I played it for him when he took his little lunch break, and like we both like had a little teary moment. Like that was beautiful. I cannot even tell you, like for real, that was an amazing read. I really, really appreciated it. Excuse me. So again, in like the least magical way of like I could describe spell work, it's just an energy manipulation. And when we have habits, right, all of us have habits, things that we just do subconsciously that we're not really thinking about, that creates energy and that creates a pattern. So a ritual is focusing on the habit. It's focusing on the intention behind it and trying to redirect it the best way you can. So a ritual is just a habit with intention that does create energy. So when it comes to something like spell work, it depends on what the spell specifically you're doing. Again, for this one, I'm talking about the money jar spell. It is all about your energy. It is all about the give and take. It's about revisiting that energy, revisiting the neuro, connections that are happening in your brain. And as you do that, you will start to see that energy comes or goes to you. Again, it makes sense, right? If you have a habit of snoozing your alarm, you're going to snooze it and you'll probably be late to a lot of jobs. You'll probably not take care of yourself in the morning the way that you need to. It creates an energy of either being positive or negative. So spell work is just energy, habit with intention. It is a give and take for this money jar and most spells. Again, you have to like revisit them. You need to make sure that you are constantly revisiting what your brain is doing and what energy you're feeling and how that's really reflected in your life. And the last thing I want to say on just what is spell work is verbiage. One of the new tattoos I really want to get is words or spells, and I really, really believe that. And it's been shown in some studies too that, the way that we speak is really important. So when you're doing a spell or a ritual, which again is just your daily habits, like if you're getting up and doing your dishes, right? Instead of being like, oh God, I got to do the dishes, be like, I'm so grateful that I have water. I have hot and cold water. I'm able to provide for my family or provide for myself. It is completely about your energy around it that will either call in positive or negative energy. So for this particular money spell, I really, again, think it's about calling in the energy that you want for abundance. A money spell can be for abundance or actual financial gain, however you want to use it. When you have a money jar, you want to put in anything, again, that represents, where you want to be in life, right? It's just like, hey, this makes me feel great. So I'm going to give you some examples here in a little bit of what I put in my money jar. I'm not going to do this ritual here because I don't really like to have it like filmed. Like I need to like put myself in that own space to do it. So what you want to do with your money jar, you want to find a jar. You can do a jar, you can do a little satchel, you can do a plate, just something to hold some things that are powerful to you. With feng shui, it's always on your southeast side, your furthest southeast side of your house. That will bring the most abundance according to feng shui. So I always put my money jar on the southeast part of the house. The chickens. And you really just want to, again, put your intention into it. You want to make sure anything that you do put into it is something that means something to you. You can look up any type of ancient meanings to it, which again, I'm going to go through here in a minute. But you just want to fill this jar, whatever jar, with as much beautiful things that just make you, when you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm inspired. I remember how rich life is when I see that. Put it, if you want to follow some feng shui, on the southeast part of your house, and make sure that you are constantly taking and interacting with it. Like, you don't just want to feel it and leave it there, right? Because again, spells are not just pulling things out of thin air. It is energy manipulation. We are very strong, energetical beings, but we can't, we can't fly, right? Like there are certain things that physics and all we're doing with witchcraft, with manifesting, with any type of that work is just feeling the energy around us that's constantly there. So again, you can't create $1 million out of nowhere. That's just not going to happen. So this is just something that you're constantly calling the energy in, and it's really important with any spell that you're doing to either constantly work with it or close the spell whenever you feel like it's done. You don't want to leave it stagnant because, again, the energy will be stagnant. I don't know if you're like me, but I have to move my house around. Every month. I need to make sure things are moved. I need to get underneath every little corner and freshen up that energy. And it feels so good when you're able to do that. So the same thing happens with your spells, your manifesting. Okay, now that that's done, I will go more in depth into any of that. If anyone wants like different spell ideas or how to use, again, to me, I think spell, manifesting, prayer, if that's something that you're into, I think they're all kind of the same thing. It's putting your mindset into something that is going to call in all the positive energy that's around us because we are stardust. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you how I do my money jar, and the meaning behind each thing that we put in it. This is my money jar. This cute little jar, it's very tiny. There's a couple rocks in there right now. I just cleaned it out. That's why I was kind of inspired to talk about this, because I had left it stagnant for a while and I had noticed that it needed some love. So this little cute jar, we actually bought when we first started gardening, and we just thought it would be the cutest thing when we would finally have enough food from our yard that we could put it in this little jar and cook it. The first thing that we put in here was some radishes. And you can see how tiny this little thing is, right? Like, it's really tiny. And we were so happy after we ate it. It was like a radish butter kind of, I don't know, little thing I made. And we just felt like we were so rich when we ate out of that. If you follow me on my personal page, I am overwhelmed with food at this point. Like, this is something that me and my hubby want to get tattooed on us, this little jar, because of what it represented. Like, we felt so rich the first time we ate our radishes out of here. So for me, this is like why I use this as abundance. I can't use it for anything else at this point. Like, when it comes to cooking, we have too much food that's growing. It's not a problem. I'm so grateful. I can't say too much. I'm so, so grateful for it. But that's why, to me, this I picked this specific thing to be our money jar. It just really represents abundance to me, that we didn't even think we could fill that one day, and now I'm making like 8 jars of peach jam. But okay, so that's why I choose that. And it doesn't have to be that meaningful on your container. I would encourage you to maybe use glass or stone, something more natural, versus like a plastic. I mean, plastic still does have an energy, but I don't know, that's just my own practice. So find a container that means something to you, like that makes you feel like when you look at it, even if it's like a green bowl or something that makes you feel super like, oh, that's beautiful, right? I actually do love too that this is blue. Spiritually, blue talks about like having the calmness and bringing in like kind of a neutral flowing energy. So I think for a money spell, this is a pretty good color. Again, traditionally green where we're living would be the sign of abundance. Sorry, my mom is texting me. Also, like anything maybe purple or gold would be a good container color for you to have. Again, if nothing else, you do you, boo-boo. It doesn't matter. Just find something to hold your stuff in. And then from there, you're going to fill it with things that make you feel abundance. If you're doing it specifically for money, again, maybe think about different herbs, crystals, coins, things that make you feel financially abundant. For me, I kind of I just want abundance in all the things. I want my family to feel abundant. I want to have good times. I want to be able to take care of people. So again, it's a very much personalized practice with your spell. So you're going to fill it with stuff. I'm going to show you what I'm going to fill mine with, again, after I get off here, because it's something I want to sit and practice with myself. But for me personally, I'm going to put in, there are rocks that it's one of our favorite places that we go camping. It's a horse camp. We've always had such a great time there. And I put these in the bottom because I want to bring in abundance again for my family. It's not like necessarily for me. Again, you do you. For me with this refreshing, I just want to bring in family and just joyful times. So I put that in the bottom, rocks that we loved. And actually, this is another one that I'm going to put in there, a little geode from Monroe Lake in Indiana. I'm just, going to put that in there for our family. Obviously, if you're going to do it for financial, coins, there you go. Coins are, the really great way to go. Copper has a lot of positive energy. It's actually kind of connected with different spiritual energy. So I'm going to put 2 pennies in for the numerology for me. I have 5 quarters and a dime, again, numerology for me, but silver is also a great thing that you can put in your money jar to create the moon energy, the feminine energy, the flow of money and abundance. So I'm going to put this on this plate because I don't want to drop them in there right now. On top of that, I'm going to go ahead and put in, again, kind of, for me, I associate with being like a green witch. I just really associate with earth energy. So I'm going to put in calendula. Calendula is really about passion and fertility and healing. Some toothpaste, natural toothpaste and dentist work, they actually use calendula oil. It's very healing for your skin. I think when it comes to abundance, I like the idea of it being healing and fertile. I want abundance to come to us with ease and just being like popping it out. So I'm going to put calendula in there. I also have, oh my goodness, I have a lot that I'm going to put in there. I'm sorry if this is going to be something we ramble about for a little bit, but I'm hoping it's going to give you ideas to make your own spell. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Things that make you feel good and that you can focus on. And once I'm done with this, like I said, I'm going to do my actual own ritual of really putting in attention and intention into it to call in that energy. But hopefully this will give you some ideas. Also, our money jar, when I've interacted with it, has been potent. I mean, we've gotten weird amounts of money that just showed up literally out of nowhere. So I don't know, kind of partial to it. That's why when I was cleaning up my porch today, because that's where I have my money jar, I was like, I feel like it really needs some love. So the next thing I'm going to put in, just for, again, ideas, is I have 7 green marbles. As a kid, I used to love to collect marbles. 7 numerology, being the luck color, and then, or the luck number, I'm sorry, and then the color green is, magic. Hopefully we're going to call in some good money there. The next one, I guess I do need to start putting them in here, but I guess we'll go through the rocks real quick that I'm going to put in there. And again, certain things that they could represent. As a earth witch, garden witch, I really love to put earth elements in there. And then, especially because like some of the things I'm going to show you in a minute are a little bit of fresh herbs, it reminds me to like check in with it daily to make sure that I'm, in this case, creating the best outcome for something to happen. So the crystals I'm going to put in this new setup for, we're going into Pisces full moon, which is pretty cool. This is, let's see if I'll show you, a green and red jasper. Jasper is all about wholeness. So I think when it comes to abundance, that this might be a great way to put in some protection, some wholeness, that I can allow abundance to come in to my life. This one right here, oh my gosh, this is my favorite. Where is it? I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Can you see that little heart? It's so cute. This one is my moss agate. I don't know how you say it. I guess I'm from the Midwest. I'm going to say agate. This right here is all about the southeastern energy and like protection. Sorry, just like got on a, oh, it's so cute. I love that heart. When I went to that rock shop and I saw that heart, and it's just beautiful all around. But again, being green and representing southeast energy, I think this would be a good one for my refreshing of the money jar. I do have 2 excuse me, 2 quartz. If you're wanting to get into crystals and it's not something that you totally explored yet, I think quartz are a great one. There's actually a really cool thing that if you take, which I've never done, but I have seen it done. If I was to take this crystal and split it in half and you were to spark it together, it would create a spark, because it creates a negative and positive charge when you split it. So quartz are really powerful. I'm putting 2 different ones in. This is considered a rough cut. You can just tell it's pretty rough. It's a little cloudy. And then this is like a 0.1. They both have a lot of different power. And not just with the quartz, any type of crystal that you try to get, if it's a rough, rounded, pointed, whatever, they all have different energy. I'm putting in this rough cut because rough cuts in general bring in, and you can like kind of almost feel that. Sorry, I gotta put it there. They bring in and dissipate energy. So I think this will be a really great one to put into a money bowl for and quartz are very neutral when it comes to the stone. So as long as you're putting in your intention when you put it in there, this will really bring in your intention and kind of dissipate whatever negative intention is possible there. And then because this is a point, to put this in there too and to face it towards my house is what I'm going to do, will kind of help channel that positive energy again with my intention. Nothing that you do in life or you think in life or you touch in life is going to have any effect if you don't put intention and learn how to work with it. So I'm going to put those 2 quartz in. I have an amethyst and I have a moonstone. Sorry. And I am putting, I'm sorry, it's not a moonstone. It's a snowflake. It's a snowflake obsidian. And this is all about balance. Obsidian's a stone I really connect with. It's really pretty too. You can, I don't know if the light's doing its justice, but it's all about balance. So again, I think with abundance, it's really important to have balance. It's really important to have protection. With the amethyst being connected to the feminine energy and dreams, there's a lot of things that are happening with me spiritually that I would love to see the abundance and that happen. So that's why I'm putting that in there. Okay, I still got a few more things, but then we're almost done. But again, I hope it just gives you encouragement on things to do for your own money jar, or any type of spell work. I think that might be something I try to maybe make some more videos about. Is I love seeing everyone's practice. I love seeing that spiritual growth, because I think that, again, we're all here for that purpose. Like we chose to be here for a reason in this spiritual embodiment. So I just hope this encourages you to keep on going. So my last few things real quick that I'm going to put in mine tonight are, I have 3 pine cones. There's some numerology behind that. I'm putting the pine cones because I love the symmetry around that. They've always been something to me that I collect. I have kind of an insane amount of pine cones, I'm not going to lie. And so for me, I want that to, again, be a balance, something that I'm only being gifted abundance if it works with the cyclical, whatever, nature of the world. So I'm putting in 3 pine cones. I am putting in some amaranth because it is very abundant. I just started growing it this year, and it feeds my rabbits and my chickens. So to me, that, again, garden, earth, witch really is something that I connect with. So that's going to go in there. I'm going to put in, last couple herbs, some fresh basil, some fresh parsley. Basil is really, really good for protection. Just dropped it too. Sorry. Protection and good luck. It kind of makes sense to me too, because it is super in bloom during the heat, the summer. So yeah. Basil and parsley is going to go in there too, along with rosemary. I can't remember if I said rosemary yet or not, but rosemary was all about, considered like a wisdom herb. So again, for me with abundance, I want to only have abundance if it's balanced and if it's beneficial. So that's why I'm kind of focusing on some of those things. Is, yes, I want it all. I mean, who doesn't, right? I would love to be a millionaire in the morning, but I don't want to overuse resources or the earth. So that's why I kind of focus on some of those things that, like, yes, I know it's going to come to me and I know I am so blessed, but I want to have a balance in it. Okay, last two things that I'm putting in mind. Then I'm going to tell you one thing that I don't really do, but if you want to anoint a candle, I will bring that up. Last thing I'm putting in my money jar is, this was a bracelet. Me and my mother and my two biological sisters, we never grew up with each other, and the first time we ever met each other was just a couple of years ago, and my mom got us kind of matching bracelets. So I'm putting that in there again for just family and wanting abundance to be able to have generational change. So that one's going in there. I'm also putting in a rabbit foot because we harvest our animals and I save their hides, and this was a rabbit that I really liked. That may sound a little dark, but that's why I saved his foot, because I loved it. So it's going in there. The last thing I want to talk about really quick is, after you put in everything into your jar, whatever it means to you, just make sure it means something to you, and make sure every time, like if I was going to put that snowflake obsidian in there, yeah, it is. I would sit here with each object and I would think about it, and I would breathe, and I would make sure, again, to use the right verbiage. You never want to, like, for this obsidian to be something about like protection and balance. I wouldn't want to be like, oh, I hope to be balanced. You don't want to do that, because that is part of negative. One day I want to get into the difference between white and black magic, because basically it's just negative and positive verbiage and energy. So you never want to say something when you're trying to bring in prosperity that's like, oh, I hope I'm going to be rich, or I hope this stone will bring me balance. When you put it in, you just want to think about like, I have balance. I am so balanced that I am able to give that piece to someone else. And, think about that for a little bit and put it in there with each thing that you put in there. You don't have to put as much in as I'm going to put in. I get a little ridiculous about it sometimes, but I think it's good. But after that, you could just finish it. Close it off with, just good intentions. Interact with that bowl. Again, don't leave it stagnant. That's why I totally cleaned mine out and I'm making this video, because you don't want to leave it stagnant. You need to give and take from it, and know that it's because it's freely coming and going to you, because that is what money and abundance is. It is a flowing energy. But if you want to finish it after that, which is, I'm probably going to do it tonight. I don't always do it when I fill up my money spell jar, but because I am cleaning it out, I'm going to do it tonight, is anointing a candle. This is the only candle I have tonight, but that's fine. You don't need a big one. I'm going to talk about sigils sometime too. You can take a candle, carve something into it. If you know how to do sigils, have at it. That's what I'm going to do tonight in this. I'm going to do a sigil for I am abundant. And then you can rub some different oils on it. Tonight I'm going to, after I do my sigil for I am abundant on this, I'm going to rub some clove and wild orange, because they are very good for protection and abundance. And then you can burn it next to your money jar and sit there and think about it for a little bit. Really put that intention. Again, use positive verbiage. Never be negative when you're in that stage, because you just want to just bring in, you want to burn away anything that's not with your inner fire. So if you're like sitting there watching a fire and you're like, oh, I hope this works. I hope this works. Oh, I don't think it's going to work. Oh, I have this bill. You're not burning away what needs to happen, and you're not lighting that inner fire. So if you want to, that's something you can do. I think I might go and try to do this a little bit more this week and show some different spells. Like I said, our money spell, I mean, to be honest, I kind of feel bad saying this, because it just, I don't know, I have some weird trauma around money, which like it's good to, again, not use negative verbiage. So I guess it's good to talk about. The last time I messed with my money jar, really like put intention, really like messed with it and spent time with it. Well, we ended up getting like a surprise $700. The time before that, we got a surprise $200. Like, it's been very powerful for us, but it's something that, again, we don't mess with all the time. You can't create money out of nowhere. You do have to put intention behind it. You have to call in the energies. You have to have something that really resonates with you to help create it. So, okay. Well, that was me rambling about a money jar. I think maybe next time I do something like this, I'm going to do like spell work around the difference between white and black magic, which again, that was like scary for me. And like Elena, maybe you probably understand that, the idea of like black magic, but the more that I've understand like removing negative, creating positive, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll just do some more spell work stuff. So, oh, and also, Elena, this was the necklace I told you I put on today. I totally forgot. It was before me and you even talked. I like was walking around in one of the rooms, and this was like my favorite necklace. I always wear it in like situations where I kind of need strength, and I like found it kind of in a corner this morning, and I literally said out loud, I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I put it on, and then you gave me that sacred scar reading, and that energy around the heart, and I just thought that was kind of crazy. So I think that was my beautiful moonstone telling me, "How dare you forget me?" Okay, guys. Well, I gotta get off because I'm getting ready to finish some din-dins, but let me know if you do a money jar. I would love to see an abundance jar. And again, abundance, they're called money jar, but to me it's an abundance. You can call an abundance of love, an abundance of community connection. Like, it doesn't have to be monetarily based. So let me know if you do something like that. It'd be really cool. I love you, Elena, soul sister. I literally, like I said, me and Mark, we both cried over that reading. Like, I'm definitely going to be looking into getting oracle cards in the next everything. In the next month or so, I'm definitely going to be looking into that. I've been seeing some oracle cards that talk about like plant medicine, and I would like to maybe get into that next. So I really thank you for getting me inspired. And that was such a great reading. Like, yeah, it hit me hard. So I really appreciate that. All right, guys, I got to go. It is 3:00 here. We're on Eastern time, and my kiddo's going to be home soon. So time to finish some dins. Mwah! I love you guys. Have a great night.